Welcome, folks, to another IPC Creatures video right here on the World Wide Web. Good to reach out to you this week. Just going in the archives, coming to kind of an era of my artistic archives. And this is a painting I did of the Bugaloos Electric Creature Band from the great story of Matsu and the FUNKYiPUPPETS. And so we're featuring Jacopo on bass. We got the great Kabuki right there. We have Taiko over there on some weird, wild instruments. They play all these invented instruments from the world. And today I'd like to just make a few announcements, talk to you all, bring you the juju, talk about a quote, and then get you on with the rest of your creative, fantastical, amazing day. And so today I'd like to make an announcement. We're moving forward with the FUNKYiPUPPETS and working on a lot of new character designs, and basically just going to give a little hint. We're going to start off with the live puppets as shorties, and that's all I'm going to give today. But thanks for joining our community, our Discord, and we're going to start having Twitter spaces, so get yourself on over there if you want to meet all of the characters that are playing all my fantastical art and animation and puppetry. And it's about to get really, really real. Just going to give a little hints for those of you who've been watching the channel. I'd like to explore a Joseph Campbell quote today, and it says, "The creative act is not hanging on, but yielding to a creative movement. Is what moves us forward." And that's just constantly my work. I love facing, blank pages. I love facing blank canvases. I like going in new environments and basically expanding the environment by, risking the language and taking it all to another creative space. And it's just getting in the water. I always like to use the metaphor of the water is expansive, and when you get into it, you can swim deep into yourself, deep out of yourself, splash it, and it flow right into the mainstream where the real work happens. Is because in the artistic process you always want to do the last process, which is just sharing it with and getting the reflection back of yourself, having that revelation inside yourself, which moves you forward, especially as a creative artist and a creative person that has totally chosen the path to follow their instincts, their imagination, and create what they do, and know that takes care of you and definitely moves you forward. So yeah, the creative act is not hanging on to it. It's like I've been learning a lot lately. This piece sold, and I personally did this piece for myself, and the background was kind of an experiment of doing kind of like a more colorful landscape, not using just the traditional colors. And it was inspired by a day here in Butte County when the fire was happening up in the hills, and everyone was going, "Whoa, look at that red sky up in the sky." And I was like, I don't think that's too natural. But for an artist, it was pretty apocalyptic, and a lot of the FUNKYiPUPPET story is kind of apocalyptic. So just a little hint on this one. It definitely was a creative act that moved me forward, because every time I take on a land in my story that I write a lot and I want to paint it, it's a whole nother world to bring it into being. And I've talked a lot about Bugaloos Electric Creature Band, which is modeled after Electric Mayhem from the Muppets. But of course, the FUNKYiPUPPETS take it to a whole nother level. They play hip hop, they love funk, and they play all kinds of galactic instruments made by Kabuki right behind me, the creature that brought the music back to the Creature Refuge, oddly named 96542. And so this is the give a little hint behind the mythology of this. In the story of Matsu, the major conflict is a creature named Atomika-kan, and Atomika-kan falls too much to earthly ways and forgets to move his creative act, and he hangs on to the creative act too much, and he didn't move in that creative movement, so he exploded and he took the spirit world with him. And so this is kind of an experiment to see if the 96542 FUNKYiPUPPETS and the Boogaloo band could go back to Earth, even though they couldn't exist because there's no spirit world, and put on a concert on the shores. And thought it was appropriate to do it with the red sun. Take you to that whole next level of where it's going. So thank you for watching the video today. Make sure you tap into my direct me. I have it down in the thing, and the Funky Eye Puppets, and come on, hang out with us, and see what we're doing. And I'm just so excited. Going to be making a lot of announcements here for you guys all to migrate from this channel over to hanging out in Funky Eye Puppet spaces and get entertained by this art. This art's going to start to move and talk to you. So thank you kindly once again for taking your precious time out of your life to spend here with I Paint Creatures. And the last thing I'm going to tell you, look out for popology. We're going to come at you in a whole nother way. It's a new way of the science of popular, and the Funky Eye Puppets and I Paint Creatures are very involved with it. So look forward to seeing that. Peace. I'll talk to you all soon. Later.